Hey folks, this is Ben Yussel. How's it going? I have a few thoughts here for you guys, just at least a few. Um, it's pretty late here. Uh, I would say, technically speaking, it's late Thursday night, but it's late. I'll put it that way right now. Um, so I just was watching again. I have a whole bunch of videos in my watch later playlist on YouTube, a whole bunch, and it's from years, sometimes years back. I'm trying to whittle it down. Eventually, I want to get to the double digits again. It was over 500 videos, and now it's over 400, which is better. But yeah, I have way too many watch later videos. I think I want to get it down to the below 50 range. You know, and I know I could just delete a whole bunch of stuff, but I know there's a reason why I wanted to watch these later, so I'm trying to watch them. And but the thing is that a lot of times you kind of change. I don't know. Some of these videos are so, I put in there that was so wild, so much of a, it was such a while back that I have less interest in a lot of these now, or some of them are still pretty interesting. But anyway, let me know if you guys have that kind of similar thing going on. It's a very handy thing that YouTube has. It's just, you don't want to get that number too big. Anyway, so aside from that train of thought, um, so I've been watching a lot of great content, and there's a gentleman who I watch his stuff. I think it's Fanboy Flicks. I can't remember what his name is, but really funny guy from Canada. I mean, really, he's one of the best on YouTube, and I mean, really funny stuff. He's really good. So I've just discovered a independent filmmaker that I would call uh, his. How can I put this? I would call the level of movie making that he's at, or I guess you could say you could use like words like A list, B list, or B budget. This gentleman is Neil Breen. Is my estimation, we're looking at C budget. I'm not saying that his budget is all that much lower than B budget, but I'm a better actor myself. I'm a better actor than practically everybody in these movies he's making. And I'm not an actor. I'm a musician. I'm a musician. Um, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here with Neil Breen movies, and he's completely independent. He finances everything himself. He's not, he he directs, writes, he does everything in these movies. And he's one of these uh, people that I'm not invincible to this sort of thing. I'm trying to find my right words here. Some people in this world don't. It's not just a question of if whether or not they have some kind of learning disability, or some kind of handicap of any sort, or drug use, or it's not just that. It goes beyond that somewhat. Some people in this world honestly just have less of a understanding of their actual real skill level in something, and they're also a little bit not as aware of what's really going on with what people think of them, or what people think of their skill level, or their whatever. Now, I myself, I have mild Asperger's syndrome. I think you guys know that if you've seen some of my videos before, and I have to admit, there's a side to this that it makes it harder for me to know what many other people know about certain things. I mean, it's harder to make certain observations about people. That's the best way of putting it. But it just depends on the person. But there's other things associated with it. But it's just that I've struggled with this throughout my entire life. I've had it since I was born. But I only have mild Asperger's syndrome. It's mild. It's often called high functioning autism, but it is mild, and I think you guys know that it's mild because you would know definitely if it was more moderate or severe. If it was severe, I probably wouldn't even be making YouTube videos. That probably wouldn't even be happening. Or if it did, you guys would know. You would definitely know if I had severe, yeah, Asperger's or autism. But in moderate, you probably know as well. Mild, you might not know, but it's true. There are. If I look back on everything I've done, but before college, during college, or undergrad, after college, um, there are a number of instances. You know, I don't know, countless instances where I honestly had no idea about this or that or this or that. I mean, I really did not, and I really don't. I have a better understanding of many things that are more associated with how others view me and my music and other things I've done or am or whatever. I can see more now than when I was 20, but I'll see more in the future. I just uh, it's just different. It's a different kind of thing. I don't know, but I'm wondering. That's all being said, if this gentleman Neil Breen, he probably, I don't know, doesn't have what I have. It just, he must not understand, or he can't bring himself to understand what people think of his movies. But people enjoy watching his movies because, well, I'm beginning to understand this gentleman a bit more. He's like a regular guy. But he isn't really. Um, just for whatever reason, he isn't operating on a professional level as a director. He must not understand what goes into being a good actor, or what makes a good scene, or there's a whole bunch of things, of course, regarding cinematography and a lot of detail work with sound, and there's a lot to making a film, of course, and he hasn't had the training. But aside from not having the training, the schooling or whatever, I just don't think he really is in the same world that many other people are regarding his stuff. And so I've wondered on some level if I'm like this, even with my own music or whatever skill level on anything. And I honestly have to say, music composition is still the best, my highest, best skill. I know what I do well, and I know what I do pretty well, even in this area. And I get to know, I know what I do best. So knowing what I do best, knowing how I am, it makes it easier for me to avoid in the future. I want people to take me seriously, of course. I think everyone wants to be taken seriously. It's tough to watch someone like this gentleman, Neil Breen, and he puts a lot of energy into making these movies. Like he's not, he's finishing them. He's finishing the movie, and it probably wasn't easy. It cost him real money, so he put his own money into these movies. So he obviously cares a lot about these movies, and so I think a lot of the appeal of watching a movie like this is coming from just trying to support someone who is trying to make a decent movie, or trying to make a movie, supporting someone who's really put a lot of he's put his own money into it, that kind of thing. It's kind of like how you feel about your own friends that make a movie, or make say amateur film makers. And so I think that a lot of people that are following this gentleman are seeing him that way, and I think that's the right way. It's like, this is a good man. He's not a bad man. He's a good man. He probably doesn't fully understand everything about, or maybe he doesn't want to hear all the bad stuff. Or if he does, he probably doesn't take it super seriously and tries to have a good attitude about it. And he's not an idiot, but he's just not, doesn't have the shrewdness of many in Hollywood and that sort of thing. And for as fine of a, or as nuanced as a, or as observant of it, it doesn't understand. Again, in good acting, good actors would be expensive anyway. So he's paying for all himself, and that's, maybe he does understand this better than I realize. But because this all comes down to money, as he said, maybe he's just trying to do what he can with his very limited budget, you know, whatever it is. And so it makes a lot of sense if you don't have good acting going on. And it makes a lot of sense if the film itself is just a little bit odd in some places. And he probably is more intelligent, or well, it's not a question of intelligence. It's a question of he probably is more self-aware than I realize. But there's the larger question of, and I've known other people. There's a young man I know who has mild Down syndrome that's tried to make movies, and it's not easy, But I just think for a second about how many people there are trying to make movies like this, regardless of how shrewd they are about the craft of acting. And so when you're directing, you see and observe literally everything. And when you have a good take. Everything from that level of being a director to you're a teenager with Down syndrome or whatever, I don't know. And everywhere in between, like the number of people that are trying to make movies, you probably don't see the slightest percentage of small. We probably don't even see. We probably see less than 1% of all movies that are made. And the easy reason why this is the case is how many, when you make movies you upload to YouTube, they're movies, they're videos, right? Maybe not feature film, that sort of thing, level, movies, but there are a lot of videos we just have never seen. And I know a lot of people some people have dreams of being a big name director. In Seattle, there's the Seattle Film Institute. And basically looking at people that are becoming independent filmmakers. Very, 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 very few people really make it in Hollywood. We all know this. I just think this is just something that there's a lot to think about in this arena. No, I'm not saying it was just today I discovered Neil Breen, really. Kind of because, again, he's, Fanboy Films was poking fun at his movies, and sure. But at least the thing is that, it's never anything personal. It's not personal. We know that this is Neil Breen is a decent guy, right? Maybe he has a little bit of eccentric, has a bit of an eccentric side, maybe in his own way. It's not like super eccentric, but it's he actually is a very friendly, nice person, kind of thing. But it's just, anyway, I think I've basically said what I wanted to say here. So, a few more things here before I wrap up. I wasn't planning on being up this late, but I'm going to try to get some shopping done tomorrow. That's the idea. And anyway, I'm probably going to get a fair amount of oranges. That's my number one thing I want to get. Oranges and some bacon. But, if you have any thoughts or comments below, go ahead and leave me thoughts and comments about what your favorite winter fruits are, or what you guys are eating right now. Um, it's just that, at least in my diet, um, I do fine. I'm always tempted, now that I'm going to QFC again a lot more, I'm often tempted by all their sweet fruit drinks and stuff. At least tempted to overdo it a little bit. So the number one thing going food shopping is just to take it easy, like as a PSC, because PCC didn't have as much in the way of sugary drinks, which is you're less tempted to buy that stuff. At QFC, it's there. It's often on sale. So I just have to be a little bit shrewder about this stuff, or know when enough is enough. But if you guys have any thoughts or comments about those things, just go ahead and leave them below. Um, Anything else I was going to mention in this video? Well, just it's oh yeah, this coming Saturday is going to be a real monster of a day. Just in case you guys are wondering, on this one day, it's a long story. So, kind of volunteering to sing in a church choir kind of thing, which starts at 9 in the morning. I have to be out of there by 10:30, no matter how long it's going, because I have to be at Benaroya Hall by 11:15ish. 11:30 is start time for dress rehearsal. There, and that'll go for probably a good few hours. I don't know, probably not quite that long, probably an hour. And a lot of hassle with the choirs and everything, and stands and everything. And hopefully, I'll be bringing a ton of food and other stuff. And have a concert at 2. This concert playing Beethoven Symphony No. 9, Fly Symphony. And Amy Beach is something, I can't remember what we're playing by Amy Beach, but a piece by Amy Beach. And then a piece by Heather Bentley, who's a Northwest composer. This is the second time we've done this, just like Amy Beach. That's okay. She's a nice lady. I like the lady more than her music, but her music is not bad. It's just that I'm getting tired of playing it kind of a little bit at this point. But the concert's going to be going for a few hours at least. So when I'm done, we're looking at almost dinner time. Then, church in the morning again, 10:30. At least it's not super early. So I'm not looking forward to Saturday, folks. I need to make sure that I've got some food that I can bring to just be a marathon day kind of on Saturday. And it's all performing. It's not like teaching. And all of my students, they're on vacation right now. It's a bit of a break. I've never been the sort of teacher to insist that everybody takes lessons with me every single week for a whole year, and then they start over again. The contract type. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. But anyway, leave me thoughts and comments below. I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.